That Ninja 400 be trying to eat in second gear, man. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be dangerous with a Super Sport. Mostly to myself. Welcome back to the channel, folks. This is your boy AJ from Iron Titan. It doesn't matter how many times I make videos about what is the perfect beginner bike or the perfect bike for you to begin on, whether you want a Super Sport to start on or you just want a nice little Ninja 125 or Z125 or some crazy shit like that. It doesn't matter how many times I talk about it, there's always somebody who asks me that same question. Hey, what's the best bike to start on? And I'm not talking about people on the internet, just in case y'all start going trying to fact check. Hey man, ain't nobody talking about that. Hey man, look, I used to work in power sports sales, and in my local area, people know that I used to do that. So people always ask me questions about my opinions on power sport related matters. So with that being said, let's talk about that. What is the perfect bike to start on? Look here. So in a nutshell, the perfect bike to start on is whatever bike you buy. Of course, there are some nuances that you probably should look out for. Like, you know, I don't know if it's necessarily the smartest thing to do to just go straight buy a ZX-10R. You just freshly jumped out of MSF. What is happening here? So as I was saying before, if you fresh out of MSF course and you decide that you want to go jump straight on an R1 or ZX-10R, like, I think you might want to go check yourself. Am I saying you can't do it? I'm definitely not saying that you can't do it, but I'm definitely saying that it's a little bit of a bad idea. There's just things that you need to learn on a quote-unquote slower bike. There are things that you need to learn on a smaller bike as far as the mechanics and the ergonomics and the things of that nature. You got to get used to the G-force and all these things, the riding position and stuff like that. Like, the perfect bike for you is going to be whichever bike it is that you grab that you feel the most comfortable in those particular scenarios. So here's the only thing that I caution in this, the bike that you choose, like, it has to be dependent on your personality, you as a person, what you are looking to do, your temperament, how you respond to certain external factors. Are you going to be riding with somebody and immediately start out riding your own ride because you're trying to keep up with them? Are you going to immediately get on this bike and lose control of it? Little simple stuff, man. Like, it's things that has less to do with the market itself and more to do with you as a person. Because the last thing you want to do is immediately jump on a bike that just way too powerful for you and you don't know how to handle it. Now, I'm not saying at all to go buy you a Ninja 400 or Ninja 500 if you don't believe that that's what you want. Like, obviously, if you got a group of friends that's trying to convince you to ride and they all have hyper sport bikes, obviously you don't want to go get a Ninja 400 as your first bike. But I do recommend borrowing a Ninja 400, renting a Ninja 400, or something equivalent. Hey, maybe one of those friends that got those hypersports might have an old lady that rides a smaller bike at home. Like, try to get on a smaller bike and learn the fundamentals first. Now, I'm not, yeah, because you don't have to ban yourself. You know, motorcycles are expensive nowadays. Even the Ninja 400s and Ninja 500s, for what they are, I feel like they are way too expensive for the value that you get, but they are the perfect bikes to start on. R3s even, Z125s even. I mean, hey, Gixxer 250s even. Like, these are bikes that, dirt bikes, hell, you could get on a dirt bike and learn a little bit. Though it's going to be a little bit of a translation to go from dirt to street, but I mean, it's something. You know, you're not just immediately getting on a rocket and don't know how to switch gears, don't know how to downshift, don't know how to speed up, don't know how to manipulate your gears, you know, don't know how to corner, things of that nature. You just don't want to set yourself up for failure like that, man. That's a bit too much. The perfect bike for you, it has absolutely nothing to do with what type of bike it is. It's just, you know, what kind of ride are you going to be riding? Cruisers might be the only big factor of cruisers would mainly be the weight of the bike, not necessarily the power of the bike. They all pretty much feel the same, unless you go from like a big touring bagger to like something like a Indian Scout or something. Like, it's just like super lightweight and nimble. Like, that's really the biggest difference. Those will even prepare you for what you are going to learn when you get on a hyper sport or a super sport bike. And this is all just in preparation of being on a super sport bike. Like, there's really no right way to get ready for it, but you do have to learn the things that you are going to need to learn in order to ride that bike successfully and not end yourself. That's about all I got for that conversation. Like I said, there's no right bike. If you want a ZX10 or R1 or MT10 or H2 or whatever the hell you want to burn out on, S1000, M1000, whatever the hell, I don't care. Like, the principles are the same. Get a smaller bike, learn on that first, and have your other bike. Like, just, if you want to buy it, just go ahead and buy it. If it's pressing you that hard, just go ahead and do it. But have that smaller bike somewhere that you can actually get on, learn a little bit about, and then hop off and then translate those skills, kind of like one of those old projector screens from school, and paste your experience over to your new ride, man. That's the best way to do it, in my opinion. Always have something smaller that you can learn on, and it's not as bad of a transition, you know? Because it's better to transfer skills from this platform to something bigger than it is to just straight up start on a platform and try to create the platform in the middle of a fight, you know? I hope that makes sense. And I ain't dogging nobody's decision. If you chose to just jump straight on a crotch rocket and that was your decision, like, I have no qualms with you. All I'm just saying is, just for people out there who are new, I'd much rather you learn how to corner than to go zoom in a straight line. I'm just saying. There's no use of getting on the super sport and you don't know how to corner correctly and you're scared to take curves on your super sport, so you just going all mad slow at 25 miles per hour every time you see a curve on the twisties. It just doesn't make sense to me. But, you know, I ain't calling nobody out. I just know I've seen it before. I'm just saying. All right, guys, let me know how you feel about this in the comments. And before you go, hit that like and subscribe button. It's the freest way to support the channel. If you want to support the channel monetarily, go ahead and cop some Titan Speed merch, man. Got that Titan Speed merch available before you got the hoodies and the t-shirts, man. More merch coming soon, man. All right, so that's about all I got. Well, that's all I got, man. If you feel otherwise, let me know in the comments and we'll keep this conversation going. All right, until next time, folks, stay safe, 10 toes down. Catch you on the next video.